All right, guys, Bitcoin on a little bit of a pump today. Well, actually, up about $1,000 from yesterday. 45,374. Everybody's all excited about the possible ETF approval, which could come today or tomorrow, is what I hear. So that's giving us a little bit of a pump. Like I've been saying, guys, I do think it's probably going to be a solid news type thing. Maybe we'll get up to like 46, 47, maybe 50. But I do think Bitcoin needs a nice cool off period. I really feel like we need a 20 or 30% dump. And I hate to say it, and I don't want it to happen. I'm not even like planning on it happening. It doesn't matter if it happens either way. I got plenty of crypto. I'll just buy more if we dump. But you know, I do think a lot of people are trading this whole ETF narrative. So what else is pumping? You know, Solana's been on a tear, $110. Congratulations to people in Solana. I do think Solana is a pump and dump scam, and I think you better be taking some profits. That's all I got to say. XRP 63 cents, Cardano 61, almost 62. What else is up crazy? I saw Theta. I think Theta was up to like 140 or something like that. Yeah, Theta 142. So Theta is one of the top gainers. Like I told you guys, Theta is just like, I mean, you had such opportunity to buy Theta under $1, and I just don't think it's going under $1 unless we get that big dump we talked about. But I think a $2 Theta is pretty much inevitable in the next month. Could be wrong, but you know, Theta is going to be a 20x from here. Okay, so let's see what's going on today. The big story, Bitcoin tops 45,000 for the first time since April 2022 as the crypto rally continues. Bitcoin surged late Monday, topping 45,000 to hit its highest level since 2021. So, you know what, 45,000, we're what, 2 days into 2024, and Bitcoin's essentially at the all-time high for the last couple years. So things are looking great in crypto. I noticed like everything we've been talking about on this channel is going crazy. You know, I kind of forgot about, well, not Hex. Hex is the one thing we've been talking about on this channel that has not been doing good. But you know, sometimes I forget about MicroStrategy. You know, I have a lot of MicroStrategy stock, and I'll just like forget about it. And I looked at it today, and it's at $701. We were buying it at like $220 6 months ago. I don't know, guys. I'm thinking when MicroStrategy hits like 750 or 800, I'm going to probably like start DCAing out a little bit. I just feel like, man, it's up a lot. I think the all-time high for MicroStrategy is like 900 or something like that, but I'm pretty close to like at least starting to nibble out of MicroStrategy to get my initial investment out, because this thing has just been like going up even more than Bitcoin. All right, Cardano price analyst, 40% rally on the cards. Ethereum to be left behind. I do think Ethereum is going to be left behind. I feel like Ethereum is kind of like old news at this point, and I think you'll be lucky to get a 2x on Ethereum for where it is right now. After a long bearish period, Cardano soared over 170% in Q4 2023 thanks to increased liquidity and DeFi activity. Cardano aims to compete with Ethereum and DeFi, achieving 424 million TVL, but still trading behind Ethereum's dominance. Cardano, a prominent smart contract-focused cryptocurrency, has demonstrated a remarkable recovery, marking a significant shift in its market trend since the end of 2021 bull run. Cardano has been experiencing a bearish trend. However, closing the fourth quarter of 2023, it has shown a bullish outlook, registering an impressive 170% gain. And yeah, you know, a lot of people will say, well, you know, so many other coins are up like 500%, 600%. Guys, I'm going to play a clip from Rand Nooner. We're so early in this bull run. Like, this is kind of like, you know, if you remember when you're like in college or 18 years old, before you would go out to the bar, you would pregame and you'd have like 5 or 6 beers so you could be like a little bit drunk before you got to the bar. That's all this is right now. This is pre-gaming. We're only pumping right now because of this whole ETF thing, because the Bitcoin halving isn't for another 3 or 4 months. So we're basically just getting a taste of what's going to happen. A lot of coins have gone crazy, like Solana. A lot of the coins pumped by YouTubers and venture capitalists have outperformed better quality projects. But guys, that's only temporary. Eventually, those coins like Solana are going to fizzle out, and they've got their 1,000% gains or whatever it is. They're going to fizzle out. And then other coins like Cardano are going to get their 1,000% gains. So that's why on this channel I always say you shouldn't be chasing anything. But I do think Cardano and a lot of other altcoins, not just Cardano. When I say Cardano, I'm pretty much talking about every other altcoin that we talk about on this channel. I think Cardano is due for its next leg up, which I think is going to probably be 70 or 80 cents. And here's the tweet from this guy. Cardano's forming a bullish pennant formation. Looks promising for another 30 to 40% rally, which would essentially put it like above 70 cents, like 70 or 80 cents. I think the real FOMO with Cardano is going to be above $1 once Cardano hits $1, because that's exactly what happened last bull run. Like, Cardano hit $1 and nobody could believe it. People were just like, holy shit. And then it hit like $2 like a week later. So when the FOMO hits, you still got a chance to buy Cardano at a relatively decent price, although you could have gotten it for 23 cents before. You know, Hex is looking like shit, and I don't know, guys. I'm not buying any more Hex. I only have a couple $100 in Hex, but the sentiment is so bad with Hex right now, and now you're starting to see Richard Hart making some videos about Hex again. I mean, if you're looking for a real like risky play, I mean, God, Hex is like the one coin, because of Richard Hart and the SEC, that's done nothing. Even one of the biggest pumpers of Hex, not pumpers, but just supporters, is Ivan on Tech. He's like kind of like, you know, he's got nothing good to say about it anymore either. Listen.
How long the Pulse chain community is gonna cope? But I mean, it's going down. Like, well, everything is going up, is going down. But you guys are coping in a very good way. Like, big shout out to you. The coping is done in a good way. The community is strong. I mean, still coping. Everything else is mooning, but the community is like coping together. So that's like the strength. I mean, maybe it's bullish. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, if you are in Pulse chain, like, I want to hear your honest opinion. Like, what do you guys think about the fact that everything else is mooning, but Hex and Pulse chain is going down? Like, it's not going up. It's going down. But I know that the cope is very strong with the Hex. Like, they are like united, coping together.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I noticed about Hex. Like, I really feel like Hex has a strong community. And guys, we haven't even gone into the bull market yet. I would be absolutely shocked if Hex doesn't get a 20 or 30x from here by like this time next year. But it's extremely risky. If I could go back in time, I probably, you know, wouldn't be, of course, I wouldn't be as positive on Hex. And I always said about Hex, if anything happens to Richard Hart where he can't pump it, which the SEC has sued him, it's not going to pump as much because Hex needs Richard Hart. So I believe Richard Hart's trial is in January, and it could go relatively quickly. So here's the deal with Hex. If Richard Hart gets fucked by the SEC and gets fined and like, he can't talk about Hex anymore, Hex is done. It's not going to do anything. But if the trial ends up being somewhat positive for Richard Hart, where maybe he has to pay a fine or whatever, or maybe it's not like a big deal, I think Hex is gonna do at least a 20, 30, or 40x from here. And look, now's the time to be buying. If you believe in Hex, now's the time to be buying it. I'm not buying any more of it, but it really just depends on the SEC. But you can't deny the community with Hex is strong. They're still pumping the shit out of it. They're still making YouTube videos. So I don't think Hex is going to go to zero. I mean, I think at this level, even no matter what happens, you got at least a 10x in it. But I don't know, guys. It really is a flip of the coin at this point. And going back to how early we are in the bull market, you know, ever so often Rand Nooner says something I agree with, and it's just talking about how people are so like thinking we're like at the top of the bull market right now. Oh my God, you know, bull market, it's so great. This is not the bull market for crypto. Like, it's this is like still coming out of the bear market. We have not hit the halving yet. We're all about 4-year cycles. Everybody has made money in crypto. It's all about 4-year cycles. Halving is not for 3 or 4 months. We still got time. This is, like I said, this is a pregame.
Narratives. What are the narratives that are actually going to come? The narratives in crypto. Have a plan and then follow the narratives. It's that simple. And you know what? If you make mistakes, honestly, at this stage of the bull market, let's just, again, I've said this a million times before, but I just want to show you where we are in the bull market, just so you understand. Literally, we've just started. Literally, you can say this was the beginning over here. We've just started. We've got all this way up to go up to 5 trillion. If you make mistakes, doesn't matter. The market will carry you out. I made a lot of mistakes. And you know,
so I think that's the point that people need to realize is we're so early. You know, I did think that maybe the bull run is not going to be as long because of this whole ETF pump. Maybe we knock 3 or 4 months off the bull run. For me, I'm probably going to be looking coming out of the summer, September, October. I really think that's when we're probably going to be hitting the top for a lot of these cryptocurrencies. And we might go another couple months after that. We could go till this time next year for all I know. But we still got time. And a lot of your coins that you're upset that have not pumped as much as Solana, everybody compares everything to Solana. Everything's going to catch up. Solana got its pump now. Okay, eventually Cardano is going to be over $1, guys, over $1.20, and then it's catching up to Solana. Eventually your Theta is going to be $2, $3, $4, catching up to Solana. And what's going to happen is Cardano is going to be $1, right, or $1.50, and Solana is going to be like 120 or 110, like right where it is right now. People are going to take their money out of Solana and start putting it into other coins like XRP, Cardano, and you pick your coin. So we still got time to go. But one other thing I do agree with Rand Nooner is you have to have a plan. You have to know when to get out. Like I just said for MicroStrategy, it's up so much now. I'll probably start DCAing out once it hits $750 or $800. You don't want to be that person just holding onto your crypto. And a lot of people did this, guys. A lot of YouTubers did it. A lot of people who made YouTube videos last bull run aren't even back because they just thought Bitcoin was going to go to $100,000 and they didn't sell anything and they ended up holding everything right back down to zero. I mean, there's people who had multi-$100,000 portfolios. I'm talking life-changing money for a lot of people. Okay, they could have bought a $500,000 house cash and it would have changed their whole life, and they held it right back down from $500,000 back down to $10,000. We don't want to be doing that, and we didn't do that last time, but a lot of YouTubers are going to be coming out encouraging you to hold when you should be selling. That's why on this channel, once things get frothy, once we get into the summer, once Cardano's got a 5-10x in it and your favorite altcoins, we're going to be making detailed videos on how to DCA out of Cardano, Litecoin, Theta, and listen, just little by little, we're going to be getting out because the one thing I guarantee you on this channel we're not going to do is we're not going to be holding any bags going into the next bear market. Like, we're going to be getting out. We might have a little bit left over. We might have like 10, 20% of our portfolio that we couldn't get out of, but 80% of our portfolio, we're going to sell at a 10, 20x, 30x. And a lot of other YouTubers will not. You'll be following them right into the gutter. And one more Cardano story, because you guys know I think Cardano and Theta are going to be the two top performers here. Cardano whales, 142 million inflows, set the trigger price rebound. Cardano on-chain data trail reveals crypto whales have capitalized on the recent price dip. Acquired Cardano coins, $142 million. Cardano price slid towards 60 cents on December 31st, which was the last time we had a little bit of a dump. Now we're back up to 63 cents for Cardano. And whales bought 237 million worth of Cardano during that dump. So essentially, every time Cardano has a little bit of a dump, the whales come in and scoop it up. And quite honestly, guys, we're still in the accumulation phase for Cardano. The whales are still accumulating. It'll get to the point where the retail starts buying. But right now, Cardano is still low enough where most people think it's going to be between $5 and $10 going into the next bull market. You still have whales buying every dip. So things are looking good for Cardano. And you just have to be patient. But overall, guys, the crypto market, it's looking good. I don't know what's going to happen. I do think we're going to get a spike up if we get that ETF approval, but I do think we're going to get a major 30% dump at some point. I think it's going to be a sell the news type event, and then we won't go bullish again until, maybe like closer to the halvening or after the halvening. But that doesn't have to happen. We might just kind of conk out a little bit at 45,000, maybe go back down to 43 and just hang out there until the halvening. I really don't know. The only weird thing is, guys, being in crypto since 2017, I'm really surprised we haven't gotten a major dump. And I think the reason we haven't had that major dump yet is because everybody's so psyched about the ETF. But once this whole ETF thing is done, I think people are going to snap back into reality. And I think they're going to be taking some profits. And I think MicroStrategy, Coinbase stock, Bitcoin, we're going to have a little bit of a pullback. We're going to start to see the articles on CNBC. Is the bull run over? Or, has steam been sucked out of the market? You can get a little bit, you're going to get like a bearish cloud over the market just for a little bit. Then we go into the halvening, and then we go 50, 60, $70,000 Bitcoin, break all-time highs, and the alt season officially begins. But like I said, that doesn't have to happen. This is crypto. We could get the ETF approval and go up to all-time highs in a week for all I know. I'm just telling you, I'm prepared for a dip. If it doesn't happen, that's great. I have plenty of crypto. But if it does happen, trust me, I got money on the side ready to deploy if we do get some sort of weird sell the news ETF dip. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.